So Steve King got in trouble when he said women basically should be forced to have their rapist's baby. Now, he decided in the fallout from that, hey man, in the era of Trump, just double down. That's all you got to do. It doesn't matter what you say, just double down. And then if they come at you again, triple down. And if they come at you again, quadruple down. And I think he made a decision here that he's just going to let it all hang out, man. Because I remember, what was that guy's name? There was another... his name is not going to come to me, and it's going to drive me crazy. But there was a giant story of a dude who said, oh, if it's an actual rape, you should be able to get an abortion, but only if it's an actual rape. So, legitimate rape, I think. If it's a legitimate rape, so it was a right-wing politician, a congressman, and in the fallout from that, I believe he was scrambling like crazy because he realized he shoved his foot in his mouth. God damn it, this is going to bug me to no end, that I'm not going to remember this guy's name, when it was a giant story for a week straight, going back to I want to say 2012 or something. But if it was a legitimate rape, then it's okay. So anyway, big firestorm around those comments. It was really cringy. He said a bunch of things about abortion that were just abysmal. But he had the wherewithal to go, oh my God, yeah, let me scramble now behind the scenes because what I said was bad. Steve King's just no, wrong. I'm just going to run with this. So he took to Twitter maybe a week after the original comments and said this. Rebecca Kieslin of Save the One, that's an anti-abortion group, delivered a powerful statement to the entire nation for legal protection from abortion for innocent babies who were conceived in rape or incest. Their lives are as precious as any other, regardless of how they came to be. So he's doubling down, also doing the Trump trick of citing somebody else who's saying the same thing that he wants to say. Like Trump will suck himself off and call himself the chosen one and like a god, but he'll quote somebody else who said it, so it's like he's saying, I'm not saying it, this guy said it, but I'm just showing you that he said it. No, that's him saying, that's what I like. Steve King's doing the same trick. Oh, this person from this anti-abortion group, what a beautiful, look at what they said, amazing, you should be forced to have your rapist baby. Anyway, moving on. Bro, what? You just said they should be forced to have their rapist baby. What? So if this, this is just one of those stories here, which gives you a perfect example of that Overton window that just gets further and further and further right. Because it wasn't that long ago where if you said, oh, if it was a legitimate rape, well, then you can get an abortion. That was the scandal. And the guy was like, oh, yeah, not my bad. I fucked up. I shouldn't have said that. Now we've moved to Steve King saying, you should be forced to have your rapist baby. And then when people go, oh, man, that is a terrible policy position. You are really stupid. He's like, anyway, so you should be forced to have your rapist baby. That's that Overton window creeping further and further and further and further and further right. Where else can it go? Where can it go from here? It doesn't get any worse than that. And by the way, just so you know, these guys consider anything, even the morning after pill, he would call abortion. To him, that's you're killing a human being if you do that, if you take the morning after pill. If we're talking about gametes or zygotes, that's this, it doesn't matter, it's a human. Has all their First Amendment rights and all that stuff. Now, Steve King in the next sentence will, be in favor of kicking babies off the social safety net and bombing innocent people overseas and killing them, and in favor of the death penalty. But if it's a gamete or a zygote or an embryo, oh my God, all systems go on protection. They have all their rights, including Second Amendment rights. If he literally would argue they have Second Amendment rights. So that Overton window has now shifted so far to the right that we've hit rock bottom because it can't get any worse than this. You should be forced to have your rapist baby, and even if it's you were raped and the next day you take a morning after pill, you shouldn't be allowed to do that because that's a baby. That's a human, and you basically murdered it. you're the victim of rape, but we're going to force you to have that baby. Oh, my God. So I just want to show you guys some polling on this. First of all, NPR and Marist just came out with a poll. Listen to this. 77% say the Supreme Court should uphold Roe versus Wade. Only 13% say it should be overturned. Stop and think about that. Only 13% agree with the mainstream Republican Party position. Mainstream position is overturn Roe versus Wade. Only 13% of Americans agree with that. Now, a more specific poll here from Gallup. This is the historical poll. I really love these. They do a great job with this stuff. Do you think abortion should be legal under any circumstances, legal only certain circumstances, or illegal in all circumstances? So, the most popular position, 53%, is legal under certain circumstances. And then it's 25% legal in all circumstances. And then the least popular position, only 21% of the country, says illegal in all circumstances. So Steve King is repping a position that only 21% of Americans agree with, and he's taken it to such an extreme that I would guess even some of those 21% would say, okay, you know what? I have one exception, and that's rape. But he's like, no, they're forced to have it. You should have it. By the way, he's being abandoned. Steve King is in many ways being abandoned by other odious Republicans. Like Liz Cheney tweeted the other day that he should be primaried. Because, you know what, he lets it all hang out, whether it's this stuff or it's the, like, open white nationalism, like, he doesn't even really mask it. So even Liz Cheney, a warmonger, war criminal maniac, is like, this guy's too far. I'd argue you're also too far, but it's funny that there are some people within the party who are like, yeah, just throw that guy under the bus. They think that if they get rid of him, they could just clean up their image, even though they stand for almost the exact same things as him, just clean up the image a little bit, and then they're good. Well, I don't know how that will unfold. We'll see. But isn't that wild? Only 21% agree with his position. Only 13% say Roe versus Wade should be overturned. And the most popular position on abortion is Roe versus Wade, which is, abortion is legal. It's a legal right up until a point, and then states can regulate it respectively. So legal in certain circumstances is the law in the United States. That's the most popular position. But Steve King, you know, it's tough to find a politician who's as bad or as dumb as him. Maybe it's him and Louis Gohmert in the conversation, but that might be it.